or 15th century. So in Japan it was practiced. In India we were a trading economy. Barter trade used to take place. And time period for a trade is from a few minutes to a few years. Yes, what I mean to say is even people who say they are investors or long-term investors, they are basically traders. Until and unless you are the in stock market, you are the operator of that particular owner of that particular company, or in commodities market, you are the end user or the producer of that particular commodity, you are a trader. Okay, so you can take a trade, you can take a bet from a few minutes, as in a day trading, to a few years. Now, what is the difference between a trade and a view? Now, this is very important. We are in a market which is full of so-called analysts. Every Tom, Dick and Harry is an analyst. He will tell you, "Arey, market to upar jaane wala hai, market is going to come down," and in case it becomes a market behaves in such a fashion, he will come down and say, "See, I told you." If such people are correct in the market so many times, why are they not making money? The reason is that there is a difference. There is a difference between taking a trade and there is a difference between taking a view. A view can be taken by anybody. I mean, everybody has a view on the market. Even the chaiwala has a view on the market. But making that view into a trade and trading on it with a proper risk, defined risk, is a trade. A trade can go correct, a trade can go wrong. For that matter, let me tell you, even the best of the traders, the best which are there in the world, their hit ratio is on an average 65 to 70%. Nobody is God. Nobody is correct 100% period of time. So, this taking a trade and the various ingredients that go into it is what we will see into it. View can be based on three facts. View can be based on fundamentals. Someone is saying he has a fundamental knowledge of a particular stock. View can be based on technicals, and view can be based on news also. I mean, there are a lot of people who claim that they have news from the big sources or from the FIIs, whatever. Taking a trade requires three important aspects. What is it? For number one, what is your risk management? What is your money management? What is your exit strategy? And what is your target definition? Where do you see that particular commodity, stock or currency heading towards? When will you exit? When is the place when you will say that I quit, I have gone wrong in the market? So taking a trade involves these things, whereas taking a view involves just simple analysis. Now, let us see what is the psychology of an unsuccessful trader. Number one, he has to be right on each and every call. Suppose if he takes a position in a particular script, the script doesn't go well. He marries that script. What do I mean by that? He will stick to his script. He will not say that I have gone wrong in the market. He will say that the market is wrong. Secondly, for an unsuccessful trader, it is entry which is the most important focus. I mean, he should have the right entry. Whereas for a successful trader, it is not always the entry. He lives in a cycle of hope. As I've said, that he feels that his analysis is 100% correct. So if the market is going down, this means that the market is wrong. His analysis is correct. And last but not the least, an unsuccessful trader only thinks about money, money, and money. We all think about money, but in trading, it is not money which you should be thinking about. Let us see what a successful trader thinks. First of all, a successful trader understands his risk. Different people have different risk. Just as different people have different diet capabilities. I mean, you can eat 2 parathas, someone can eat 10 parathas. So just like that, everybody has a different diet. Everybody has a different taste. Similarly, different people have different risk. A successful trader is the one who defines his risk. Secondly, he does his homework first before his entry. Now, what do you mean by a homework? You know, when you trade the market, there is a possibility you may be the best analyst in the world. You may have the best news in the world. But still there is even a remote possibility that the market will not go according to what you have anticipated. So he has an exit plan, he has an entry plan, he has at what levels he will exit that particular market if he's into the money. So he does his homework first and then enters the market. His exit is the main focus. Where will I exit? For an unsuccessful trader, it is entry. अरे नहीं entry हो जाए, अरे breakout हो गया, entry हो जाए. But he doesn't understand where to exit. Whereas for a successful trader, he knows where is exit. He knows if I'm going right or if I'm going wrong. If I'm going wrong, yes, my analysis has gone wrong. This is where I will exit. If I'm going right, yes, this is a near resistance, or this is where perhaps where the valuations are matching, and I will exit with this particular stock or currency. For him, he thinks about risk control. Instead of money, he says that if I control my risk properly, I will make money. Money will automatically come if I take care of my risk. So this is something which a successful trader thinks. Now, another important point of trading is knowing yourself. It is very important because trading is a total psychological game. You should be knowing that what are your plus points, what are your negative points, and you should be trading accordingly. The first thing is, what are your objectives of trading? Objectives as in, it can be a financial objective, it can be a psychological objective. Financial objective means how much, for example, by playing one lot of Nifty, how much do I plan to earn every month? You should be knowing. I mean, you should keep that realistic goals yourself. How much percentage of a particular momentum which I catch, or what is the risk which I will incur? What are your resources? Of course, trading requires money. And what are your resources? For how long can you sustain losses if they incur month by month? Every month you won't be able to make profits in trading. So how many months can you incur losses? Are you impulsive about trading? What do I mean by being impulsive? This is something which all of us suffer. Once we are correct in the markets, once the market behaves as we are expecting, the first thing we do is we exit the markets. A successful trader is the one who enters further into that particular point. So this is something which we should understand. Are we impulsive? What is our forte? Everybody cannot be good in each and every analysis. Some of you might have resources and might be getting the best news in the world. Okay. Some of you must be looking at charts. Some of you must be very good in fundamentals. So understand what is your forte. One thing which I, over a period of 10 years, being into the catering to the trading desk of some of the top institutions, I have realized that stick to one methodology of analysis. Don't go for multiple methods of analysis. Why? Because once you start going for multiple analysis, what happens is you get confused. It is better to be in this particular field, it is better to be a master of one rather than being a jack of all. What are your risks involved? Again, risk is a very important factor. How do you handle losses? Now, handling losses is a virtue. Once you have incurred a loss, assume you have taken a trade and you have incurred a loss. How do you handle it? Do you intend in next one trade I'll recover the entire loss? Or you say, okay, it's a part and parcel of the game. I will play according to my strategy. I won't deviate from my strategy. This is something which I have seen in most of the traders. So once they have incurred a loss, they tend to shorten that time frame. For example, if he's an intraday trader, he will become something like an arbitrager. No, I have to recover this loss. No, I have to recover this loss as soon as possible. And in that scenario, he abandons his strategy and incurs further losses. So this is very important point, that how do you handle your loss? Because in trading there will be a point of time where you will be having a streak of losses altogether. So this means that either you will change your strategy, or if you hold on, play the same strategy that was giving you profits. I think that is something which is important. But handling the losses is a very important point in trading. Knowing the markets, in which market you are comfortable. Now, I say this because each one of us is not comfortable with each and every market. Some of you might say, sir, in technical analysis, the charts are the same. If you look at commodities, currencies, equities, accepted, point taken. But then what happens is, for example, the commodity market is on up till 12 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock. This means that you will have to be in front of the screen till that particular time period. Equities market from 9:15 to 3:30. Currencies market, Indian currency market from up till 5 o'clock. But in other currency markets, the world over, it's a 24-hour market, 5 days a week. So which market are you more comfortable? Sometimes you are, if you are a fundamental analyst, you can track the global scenario better. You can trade international currencies better. You can have a view on gold or silver better than any other thing. So you should understand that which market you are comfortable, and then you should trade on that particular market. I feel everybody cannot trade each and every market. First of all, it becomes too hectic. Number two, it becomes too confusing. And number three, your resources are limited. So instead of allocating merger resources to each and every market and trying and testing, it is very beneficial to be into the market in which you have a mastery or you have a command over it. So you can make you can take a substantial amount of position on your view and make good amount of money. What is the volatility of the asset class? Very important. A high volatile asset class will mean a high amount of risk. So you have to understand that if the asset class is getting extremely high volatile, you should refrain from that particular asset class. What is the margin required? Let me tell you this. The margin required to trade a lot of gold is 1.50, whereas the entire cost of that, the value of that lot of gold is around 23 lakhs to 25 lakhs. So what is the total margin it is required to trade that much amount of gold? What is the percentage risk you are taking on that particular asset class? In equities, it is much less. Is the asset class presently in momentum? Let me tell you. In a asset class which is in a momentum, for example, the stocks are in a momentum, Nifty is in a momentum, it is very easy to trade those asset classes, and it is very easy to make money out of those asset classes rather than trading an asset class which is in a sideways direction. Momentum means both ways, upside and downside. Let me tell you, the asset class which has given the maximum amount of return in past 8 to 9 months has been crude oil, when it fell from $110 way back to $40. So try to catch an asset class. For this, what should you do? For this, you should look at the larger picture. Go to monthly charts or quarterly charts. Try to figure out which stock is in momentum, which stock has given you a breakout, and or which currency has given you a breakout, and try to trade that particular asset class in that particular momentum. The probability of your success and making money will increase drastically. Now this is very important. There are two things in the market, news and mix the two, that there is a news and there is an event, both are the same, but it is not so. Let me tell you, news or rumor is always discounted by the market. News or rumor is something which we know is going to happen. Let us take an example of a result of a company. Well, you will say that it is kept in secret, it is kept under folds and everything. But my experience has shows me that there is always a smart portion of this smart money who knows or who anticipates, I would like to say, that what is going to happen on a perfect basis and takes position accordingly before that event or news is declared. Many of you who trade commodities and currencies, you must be knowing that the economic data is released, probably every day, of most of the developed countries. Before certain key economic data, you will have prices reacting in a very vague manner, in a volatile manner. That is a point of time where these particular elements who have some idea of the market take position. So they have the news, and going by the premises of technical analysis, news is always discounted by the market. All markets have smart hand who have more insight than the ordinary public. Event is an act of God or an unforeseen development which was never expected. Now let me explain it to you how. For an event to take place, the tsunami which struck Japanese market was an event. It was a God-sent event. Now what happened was, ideally after that event took place, yen should have depreciated. If anybody was there during that particular 2 hours after tsunami struck Japan 4 years back, yen should have depreciated. But what happened? Yen started appreciating. Why? Because it was an unforeseen event. People were not ready as to take position accordingly. The smart money was struck in in long yen. After a few days after event played out, yen again started depreciating, and this time in a big way. So it takes time. Even after 9/11, the stock markets did not see an immediate collapse. For 1 or 2 days, the stock market traded flat, and then after the third or fourth day, when the smart money were out of the market, they took short positions, it then started falling. So always, whenever you enter the market, assume that whatever news I have, it is always discounted. People know it before me. Hundreds of people know it before me while getting the news. So there's a very high probability that it is discounted. Now this is something which I would like to show you. What is the basic ingredient of a successful trade? Out of this entire matrix, I have given just 20% of the weightage to entry. Now I know most of you people must be assuming that entry is 80% of the important thing for a successful trading. I would like to differ from this. Entry is the least thing which you can bother. Entry is the easiest thing you can do. Even you must have realized that. Suppose you like a particular stock. The first thing you do is you pick your phone and tell your broker, le lo. You buy that particular stock. So entry is the easiest thing. The most difficult thing in the market is exit. When will you exit? Because there is a lot of ego issue involved. There's a lot of, self-respect involved when you exit it at a loss. And secondly, what is your risk management and money management? I repeat, if you can master risk management and if you can master exits, believe me, you will not make money in the market, you will mint money in the market. We have tried to come here with certain procedures or certain guidelines which will help you become a better trader in these aspects.